Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. I hope you all are doing fine and thank you for clicking on today's video. We can forget the information but we cannot forget how we felt. Today we are diving into a debate that is fiction versus self-help books, and is fiction better than non-fiction self-help? Now don't get me wrong, self-help books have their own place. They are packed with valuable tips and strategies, but there's another kind of book that is just as powerful, maybe even more, for personal growth, and that is fiction. The purpose of this video is not to disrespect self-help books. I'm not telling you to stop reading those. Just be a bit critical while choosing, and also you have access to internet where you can check out many things about those books and writers. It's for the people who think and say that reading fiction is a waste of time. I read diverse genres of books. Yes, I have read more fiction than non-fiction. I have read self-help books too, but their less information and repetitiveness made me turn more toward fiction. Now watch this video till the end to understand the whole topic and all the information. Most of the self-help books sells because of their interesting and catchy titles. They mostly focus on one or two things because they know that people want quick solutions to their certain problems, and some, not all, but some write and publish self-help non-fiction books just so they can have the title, writer, or author written under their name. And this is said by someone who has written a non-fiction self-help book just to have the title of writer. And I myself has seen that video last year. Yes, the definition of fiction says that it's not real and a made-up story, but still this literature captures real life. Fiction literature is not entirely fictional. It's a story, but it has human and real-life elements and problems. Fiction as a story actually reflects reality in the form of story. Now let's have a look at positives of fiction in comparison to non-fiction self-help. It's easy to remember. It's easier to remember stories than theories or principle or information. Stories let us experience those things, and that's why we can use them better. A good story is not just about escaping reality. Stories are actually a powerful tool for learning and self-discovery. Think about it, why do cultures around the world use a story to teach lessons? They turn all the philosophies and principles into stories so it can be easy to remember for a long time. Humans would have forgotten those philosophies and principles if those were not turned into stories. These stories are easier to remember along with the lessons as compared to self-help book. In this case, in non-fiction, biographies and autobiographies are better if those are not filtered too much. It improves communication and language skill. Reading fiction is not just a form of entertainment. It helps you learn and improve at a lot of things, especially your communication and language skills if it has good writing and dialogues. These skills can also get a bit improved by self-help books, but not much, as those are written in a very simplified language and are written in monotone. Fiction has different characters and conflicts and situations that are written in different tones, and that's what improves our tone and language while communicating. We all non-native speakers must have seen videos of how to speak English or how to improve your English vocabulary and speaking, and they all mentions reading, and fiction improves that in a better way. So I would suggest that you read fiction if you actually want to improve your English or language or communication. Emotional intelligence and more effective. Self-help directly gives us information and strategies, but fiction literature lets us find conclusion on our own. It makes us realize things, and that realization is more effective than just a piece of information. By stepping into the shoes of fictional character, we experience the world through their eyes. We feel their joy, sorrow, triumphs and failures. This builds empathy, a crucial skill for navigating real-life relationships and understanding different perspectives. And that improves our emotional intelligence and is more effective to be used in real life. We can forget information, but we cannot forget how we felt. Imagine reading a story about the character overcoming a prejudice. You don't just learn about the concept, you feel the sting of discrimination and the power of resilience. This emotional connection makes the lesson far more impactful than reading just list of do's and don'ts. It helps in cognitive stimulation and critical thinking. Great stories mostly present multiple perspectives and complex situations. Think about a mystery or a crime novel where you have to piece together the clues and solve the case alongside the narrator, or a dystopian story that challenges your understanding of right and wrong. These narratives push us to think outside the box and question our own assumptions. In fiction, we read arguments of both the sides and sometimes even multiple perspectives. This challenges the brain to comprehend complex narratives, and that makes readers think critically of those topics or situations. We often read just one perspective in non-fiction self-help books. They directly tells us to do certain things and achieve our goals. Mostly we don't have enough information and knowledge about what we are reading in the book. Well, that's the reason why we are reading those books, because we don't have enough knowledge or information about those things. Sometimes it makes it hard for us to come up with an opposite argument. We all know that if something works for someone, that doesn't mean that it will work for us. For this, you can always read reviews on the internet, on blogs or Goodreads or anywhere, but reviews are also based on those people's perspective and their thinking and experience. It's tricky, but you will at least know what the book is about or what you can expect from those books. Fiction can't be summed up like non-fiction self-help. Most popular argument on fiction versus self-help is that self-help books can be summed up in 10 to 15 bullet points. So just to know about those 10 to 15 points, you have to read 200 to 300 pages of book. It's true to some extent, but definitely not all. Many are good and better and also not repetitive like other self-help books. So you just have to be critical about choosing books that you read in self-help category. You can take help of internet and other readers for that. On the other hand, you still can't sum up a fiction book like that. You can try and you might succeed at forming a summary of just the overall story, but still you can't actually know what happens in that fictional story unless you yourself has read it. In the end, what you read is your choice and what others read is their choice. Read fiction or non-fiction or self-help or anything, both have their own positives and negatives. One thing to keep in mind is that not every self-help books is for you, even though it's a popular book. Read them only when you want to improve at that one particular thing and when you are actually ready to apply those things in your life and see if that works for you or not. There's a genre called literary fiction that has the most accurate real life representation in a form of fictional story. If you're someone who wants to read most realistic story or in a form of fiction to understand or to just be in reality, but you don't want to read a non-fiction self-help book, then you can definitely go ahead with literary fiction. It's an amazing genre and literary fiction is definitely my favorite too, so you can check literary fiction books online. If you don't know much about the genres, then you can check out my another video that has explained different genres with examples. I'll also give link in the description. Now I want to hear from you what you all think about this and what are your favorite fiction books that had a lasting impact on you. Also non-fiction self-help books too. Share your recommendations in the comment section for me and for others. I hope you like this video, and to connect with me you can follow me on my Instagram. I'm very much active there. I also have a book blog that you can check out. There I upload short stories, poems and book reviews and recommendations and quotes. I'll give all the links in the description, so do check out the description box. So see you in the next video. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy. For a fortnight there we were forever running to your backyard. I love you, it's true in my life. Read as many book you want and can, and bye bye.